Hey Internet, hey YouTube, this is Nate. You can also call me Nathan, please never call me Nathaniel, and welcome to Monster Train: The Last Divinity. I actually get to, I had a moment today where I could do a standard recording, which has been, for a while, not possible. But today it worked out, so I will take advantage of that, be thrilled, and we will do a standard run at Covenant level 25. I'm so nervous to random. I think I'm gonna keep doing the clearing the final stuff because I just don't want to play Rector Flicker right now, and I feel like the game's gonna troll me if I allow it. So we're gonna look at what else do we have left to clear. We have one Awoken card, one Umbra card, one Melting Remnant card, and then some neutral cards. We did Awoken as the main last time. No, we did Primordium. Yes, we did a Primordium run. Let's do a Sentient run. We'll do Sentient plus Melting Remnant. Probably with Dregs, maybe? That's a good question. Let me see what's left in Melting Remnant to stamp here. It's all fine. It's all fine. Oh, it's Devourer of Death. Okay, that's easy enough. We have to get it. That's, I mean, obviously that's the caveat here. We have to actually get the unit. But if we get it, that makes it easy. And then I believe with Awoken, we just have. Where is it? Yeah, Mind Mother left. So okay, so we'll do Sentient. We will do. I mean, Primitive Mold is typically very good, but I'm also thinking like Drag, you know, keep it easy. We'll probably go with Primitive Mold though, and this should be fine. It's hard. I mean, let me put it this way: it's not hard to lose with the Sentient, but it's hard to not have like a decent chance with the setup. So we have Seraph the Patient, so I'm already happy that I took Primitive Mold, so that makes this a lot easier. And X costs are good because specifically of Awoken's Rail Spike. Merchant costs are also very good. It just kind of, in general, makes it much easier to manage upgrades. It depends on if we're going to go Rail Spike or not. I'm trying to think, what is the main value of Rail Spike? I mean, of course there's value in it. I'm just thinking long term. I actually think I'm going to go Guild Marker. It's really only Awoken's Rail Spike that's worth it here. Or, I mean, like, you get a Cavern event and get, I don't know, one of the X costs, but I think it's Guild Marker for me right now. Yeah, definitely Explosive over Cultivating. Cultivating has the advantage of having a massive health pool and extra draw, but Explosive is just way more consistent, I think. Even into Patient, I think it's okay. Okay, we have an Awoken Banner. That's exactly what we want. We're going to take the money here and get into the next fight. And we do... Yeah, we should be fine. As long as we can get some decent triggers, like timely triggers, we should be okay. So here... we would only get 2 triggers. That doesn't seem quite enough. I'm going to go top floor to give myself more time. And we're just going to kind of chill at this point. Okay, so we can go double, which is great. We can also do a sting. We have not gotten a single unit yet, which is a little bit unfortunate, but, you know, it's fine. I'm pretty sure a Train Steward just gets the kill here. It's correct. We can play this as well. We're only going to be able to play 2. Okay, so we do this. We're at least killing the front unit. And then I think I like double... okay, single Train Steward because, you know, Ember's a thing that sometimes does or does not become available. So now here's a question. We could add 20 damage right now to the Train Steward. Or we can add 2 extra regen. Halvesies seems like a bad idea. We are going to get, very likely, 2 restores and a sting. So assuming that happens, we're going to have 2 restore. Our restores are going to be worth... Oof, this is tough. Wicklash, double Wicklash on the Train Steward represents 25 by 3, 75 damage. Double restores on you with your lifesteal. I mean, you're going to lose the lifesteal before you have lost your armor. Unless I pop you before. This represents, let's say, 3 lifesteal. You can take 5 hits, basically. If we get both other restores, that puts us up to 4 regen. That's 80 damage. Plus the extra 40, so 120 damage. Then you have the hits from you, maybe a sting. It's going to be close. We're going to probably take a little bit of fire damage, but I think this is still the best route here. Okay, so we don't, unfortunately only get 1. How much damage are we taking? We're taking 18, I think? 3 hits? No, 54. Yeah, 54 is 3 hits. So 3 hits puts us at 18 damage. We're going to be at 17 health. Fair enough. Oh, actually, I even mathed wrong. Well, not the total, but I mathed wrong on his health a little bit. I think Razor Sharp makes a lot of sense. And maybe Purifying Cleanse. Yeah, I like Purifying Cleanse a lot. It allows us some kind of unique options here. Husk Hermit's always going to be good. The issue is, how do we grow it? But I think that's a future problem. Just having the sweep is really valuable. We're going to left path. Let's see what we get out of the shop. Okay, multi-strike probably makes sense to go on the sweeper, but before we do that, we need to see... Interesting. We can get multi-strike and an Animus of Speed immediately, so we could have quick sweep, and then maybe we get something like Large Stone. But then, how do we scale? This is the main question. We would have 40 quick damage that would kill most backliners. We would then have to rely entirely on... Oh no, we have Razor Sharp Edge. Yeah, we have Razor Sharp Edge. Okay. And, oh my gosh, what am I talking about? We have Razor Sharp Edge, and we have Wicklashes, and there's a potential to get another multi-strike. Yeah, this is fine. This is a really good setup. I don't know why my brain was struggling to realize how good this is. Only issue now is keeping it alive, but that's where the Purifying Cleanse comes in. If we don't need to use it on... If we can get holdover and we don't need to use it on the Sentient, then we can use it to heal up the Husk Hermit. And this already looks very solid. We're not going to reroll because we know we cannot get multi-strike. We'll go right path again because we need to try to go for Vine Mother. And I would take a Vine Mother anyway. It's actually not bad in a setup like this, because what we want is a lot of draw, and we want to remove anything that's not contributing to our damage. So, yeah, obviously Train Stewards. But even these reforms might get yeeted. It just really depends on how much we're going to be relying on reform to keep the House Hermit alive. That's what we have to determine. We'll take the trial here. 4 damage should not make a huge difference, especially when we can quick multi-strike. Like, I'm really not concerned. So we even have a play right now. If we don't mind that the Husk Hermit has the potential to die and have to be reformed, we can immediately add 15, that's 30. We can do 40 damage if we are okay. And then we take 6 damage with the Sentient. This guy lives, and we move on with our lives. I think we go a little bit more conservative here. There are 2 others. I'm going to go for this. At worst case scenario, we have to reform and then play it on after the reform. But we end up getting a Purifying Cleanse, and we play the Train Steward just to get sacked. And now we just need to make sure that we are, you know... Yeah, Invigorating Solution gets us there. We can play this. Take, what, 7 damage? That's life. Sometimes life gives you 7 damage. Nothing you can do about it. We should Not even should. We will get Whiplash. We will get Razor Sharp Edge. And we can begin the healing process. And this should be a very, very easy finish at this point. Play this. Do this to you. Just need any Burnout Extender. That is enough. And then we got it. Even the Burnout Extender was unnecessary because we could have gotten another 2, you know, hits and then extra regen and so on. But obviously it doesn't hurt. I don't think we need any more. I want to make sure we have plenty of regen options. I also don't think we need things like Dripfall. None of this. Again, we're fishing specifically for a Vine Mother. There's another quick. And we don't get it. Okay, that's fine. So we stick with our build. Maybe we try to roll... Oh, I mean, there's one more chance. There's still a chance we can get another Vine Mother. So I'm actually tempted by this because it just gives you more early stats. And I don't know... Considering we have three spells that increase damage. And if we get holdover on, say, 2 of them, that's 40 damage added per turn, plus all of the regen options we're going to get from the Sentient, for the Sentient. I think there's a really good chance. Let me think. Mini bosses, let's say 600 HP. And we have like 6 turns. So let's assume, or not 6 turns, we have like, yeah, we have about 6 turns until one of them will show up to the top floor. So if you consider 6 turns, maybe it's 7, I can't remember, but 6 or 7 turns. And we're playing on average 2/3 upgrades per turn, stat upgrades or stat enhancements per turn. 40 times 7 is 280, and then we have to burst out the rest with the Sentient. Sentient's doing 60 damage per. We'd have to hit at least 4 restores, and then it gets tight. It gets kind of tight. I'm just wondering if that's going to be good enough. I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold for now. Ember State. None of this really makes sense. Yeah. Don't take any of these. Let's see what artifact we get here. So now with Fate's First Blade, that adds an extra 6 damage as long as it has Burnout, which it should. And now I actually kind of think we just take this Large Stone, mostly because we don't want the Husk Hermit to die anymore, and this gives us a little bit of room in terms of like sustain. That if we play on the top floor, you know, we're not gonna be concerned about it immediately just getting blown away. This is good. So we'll start with this, get rid of all of our, you know, other units, and they will probably die, and you will, you know, continue to do your thing. I can't stop you from doing your thing, but I can certainly make sure that none of these units ever survive. So we're gonna go pop, pop. And now we're just taking damage from Talos. We are going to put this onto you because we know coming up very shortly will be the Whiplashes right on time. And then we just continue with this process, and we should be in fine shape here. We only have to do, we got 500 damage. We're doing more than 100. I mean, we're good. We just finish, and it's a pretty clean victory here. Just get even more damage rolling, and she will unfortunately kill the Sentient, but it's not bad. It's not bad. During the so this is where the X cost actually would have been valuable, but we have the Devourer of Death. Very interesting. Devourer of Death, what do we do with you? I mean, we take you. You are going to be a kind of deadweight for a long time. But, you know, that's fine. We carry deadweights. We've done it before. We will do it again. We will continue to increase draw. And removing... So this is the big question, is Patient is incredibly annoying to the Sentient because Sentient will die. We have to just stay at a low enough threshold that there's no trample. And like reforming the Sentient is not out of the question. So we're gonna go right path. We're going to remove the stewards. And I think we kind of plan around this, like we think I think the Sentient will die. And knowing that we think the Sentient will die, we probably need to permafrost a primitive mold, at least one. A reroll here to get another minus cost is probably... Well, hold on. We can reroll, and if we need or want the... So double stack... Not really super appealing. I think we just continue to do -1s on these Whicklashes. And the other thing I would go for here that could be really valuable is spell chaining. Like I would do spell chain on like a razor sharp edge to just try to take advantage of the fact that we're gonna have a very low ember build in general. This should be fine. Okay, so we need a little bit of time to build up here. I don't know. Well, hold on. We can do 100. No, we can do 80 plus 40. 80 plus 40 plus 40. 120. We would get the kill, but like why? Like there's no advantage to doing it like this. We just play. We just play. Give you this. Give you this. We have the primitive mold in case we need to bring it back. Play you to get sacked. Hit you with one of these, and this is all fine. We get the Whicklash, which is great. We can burst and burst, and we're not, unfortunately not. No. We're actually getting a clean kill now. I just realized. I mean, why not? Man can dream of getting a kill there. So let's heal you up. Bop. Bop. And here I think Invigorating Solution is the play. Would be good also to get the units out, but I mean it's whatever. It's a consume. Like whatever other thing it is first and foremost a consume. This will help with a little bit of HP here. And then we get the clean finish. And in terms of damage... trying to think how at risk are we. I mean, the backliners will die immediately. This guy will be doing 18 damage per hit, 36 damage in total, so he will probably kill the Sentient in 2 hits, but in those 2 hits he will have taken, you know, more than 400 damage. And then it's quick too. Yeah, we're good. There are no worries. This man will die immediately. And yeah, I think we're in really good shape. Not to mention we can already Razor Sharp Edge again, build up your regen for more or less no reason. And I think we're already killing, but you know, why kill when you can really kill? So there you go. And we take 1 hit, but in the end, completely fine. Combustible Wax is great. Yeah, just makes it a little bit easier. We don't have to kind of struggle. Pyrogrow, I don't think this is a Pyrogrow build. The idea here is really just to draw a lot. So Crushing is interesting. Crushing would be a decent insurance against many bosses. There's also the Wickless Recruitment play. Wickless Recruitment not only removes the debuffs, it removes the burnout, which actually triggers Fade's First Blade. And there's something to be said about having this as a way to get rid of melee weakness. The problem is that it doesn't do a lot against Divinity. It ends up being kind of a dead card there. So Crushing Demise is good against mini-bosses, Wickless Recruitment's good against patients, and the question is, what's the more urgent need? I actually think we're going to scale okay against mini-bosses. Once we clean up the deck, and I almost wonder if we just try to get to the point where we actually don't need holdover, but that we're just, you know, if we remove all the other primitive molds, we have the one. We keep Devourer of Death, Animus of Will. Maybe we keep the things, maybe we don't. I don't know yet. So then we have something like one. Okay, so this would be removed. We have this as holdover or as permafrosted. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 spells. We're going to be regularly triggering on average 2 of these, and if we can get Spell Chain on Razor Sharp Edge, it becomes even better. Spell Chain -1 on Razor Sharp Edge. Even Spell Chain on these Wicklashes. So I think there's some options here where the thinner the deck, the better. And we tried to deal with Patient by reforming the Sentient. I think that's the long-term strategy here. Now, what would be great immediately is if we can get Spell Chain on either a Wicklash, or I mean, probably a Wicklash is preferred. We don't get it. Intrinsic. There's also a certain value in starting immediately with one of the Wicklashes. Which I quite like. And given that, I don't mind duping this. This is 20 damage. 40 damage turn 1. Yeah, I think we take that. Just so you're aware, it's kind of interesting. It won't come up in this, but intrinsic trumps your actual card draw. If you have 10 intrinsic cards, you will draw all 10. Or I guess the true is 8. Because you will always draw a priority unit. You will always draw your champion. This will always happen. And then if you have 8 intrinsic cards, you will draw all 8 of them. If you have more than 8, you won't. One of them will get randomly sorted into the next draw. But if you have 8 intrinsic cards, you will draw all of them regardless of your draw, which is very fascinating to me. This should be a piece of cake. I really, like, our scaling is so high at this point. The only reason to go bottom floor is to basically style. I think it still makes sense to play up top. You take the time, and hopefully collector went on a bad floor. Sometimes your collector goes on a bad floor, and there's nothing you can do about it. Let's just play the Devourer to get killed out of the deck. And yeah, there's. I mean, we're already sitting at a nice, cool 100 and, you know, almost 150 damage. So I think our scaling problems are more or less over, and it's only going to get better as we thin the deck. And consider that in addition to the standard scaling problem, or in the standard scaling, we have in addition, oh, you know what I could do? Oh my, look at this. Bam, bam, bam. And all of a sudden we're at 200 damage. We have the burst from the Sentient. So the only issue with carrying around this other unit is that it can get kind of annoying. I could even play this just to get a trigger. Like 6 burnout is a lot of burnout. And then we can just continue. Stealth is problematic. Oh wow, this is actually this could be a big problem. 14 damage. That is what's 14 into 50? 14 into 50 is 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. 56. So it's 4 hits, maybe a 5th hit if we can generate enough regen. I think we can. Yeah, we'll be able to generate enough regen. So 5 hits. That means it's going to start at 7, 5 hits, and then you have... Yeah, we're good. It's tight. It's very tight, but... oh, but wait, it's not actually 14, it's 16. This probably doesn't make a difference because it's only the 1 unit. We're in a tight spot. How we doing? Okay, 492. But have you considered that I can do this immediately? And now it's 552. So we're going to be left with just over 60 HP on the boss. We take 3 hits. So not the end of the world. We did get that 5th hit in, but we only got 1 hit with our unit. Whew, scary times. But we did manage it. Focus growth is very good. Draw is just really, really valuable for us. We will take that. I don't think we need stealth. Although, wait a minute. Stealth just counters all of the crap. Stealth just counters all the crap. Like sustain, we're fine. And then it's just damage. Yeah, what am I talking about? Of course we take that. So we took 2 cards. We need to make them both extremely inexpensive. I would like as well... Oh my gosh, lost luggage. Spell chain is still a thing on the board here. We don't get it there. Okay, so -1 holdover on Engulfed in Smoke, or -1 holdover on Focus Growth? This is the main question. It's probably on the Stealth. I would like to hold out for it to be 0 cost. Do we have any other... we have no... Okay, so we're not going to get 0 cost. So then if we know we're not going to get 0 cost... This represents a hit and guaranteed draw. Can we trim down to 10 cards? 1, 2... we got to also think dead weights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, with 2 dead weight, 16, 17. So every other turn we will engulf in smoke. That's all we need. We just need to survive until Relentless. And so in that case, the priority for me, let's make you hold over and -1. We need to make engulfed in smoke 0 cost. I don't want to double stack. I just want it to be 0 cost. Again, it's just enough that we survive. Left path is absolutely glorious. I really appreciate this left path. Actually, I gotta check something. 10, 15, 25 puts us to 90. We will have to dupe something that has been infused. It might have to be another one of these. No, intrinsic is not enough. We will have to dupe the Husk Hermit. Okay, fair enough. We dupe the Husk Hermit. We put him on a floor, he does his thing, and then he dies, and it's life. Okay, at least we now know that we have to go that right path because... oh yeah, we have to go right path because we have to dupe. We have no other possibility to dupe here. Yes. So this Merchant of Magic will just be to reduce the cost of things, then we dump the rest of our money into spell upgrades, basically, and maybe unit upgrades for this Devourer of Death. Okay. Got it sorted. We will play bottom floor because we do not want any crap in our deck. Focus Growth. Purifying Cleanse. And we're in a good spot. What do? Weight of Contrition. Well, that's never going to be relevant, fortunately for us. We may actually just remove most of the restores as well. I don't know how I don't know how valuable long term the restores are compared to like regularly and consistently hitting our Wick Lashes, our Purifying Cleanse, the Stealth, the Razor Sharp Edge. So I think there's a case to be made that we just don't we don't put any significant effort in retaining these restores. I just assume that our Husk Hermit is going to be the carry in a build like this. I think this is the way we have to play. I mean, not to say we don't play them when well, in this moment we have them, but just looking to the future, I think this should be the setup. Okay, we can restore and then stealth. I don't know that stealth does a lot. It basically prevents one turn of attack. And actually we were able to manage that fight very, very well. This seems all very unnecessary. I mean, you could put, there's a case you could put like endless, but it doesn't make sense. We're gonna skip. We want to thin. Thin, thin, thin is the way. Thin, thin, thin for the win. That's the way. So we're gonna go, okay, insurance days, sure. We take those. We take the Divine Boons no matter what. We will remove first these extra primitive molds. They add the least amount of value to our deck. And again, it's all about cheap, so we want you to be free. This is very important. We can put +10, but I think we save our money for something more important. Do we want holdover on the other Wicklash? It seems fine. Let's -1 the Razor Sharp Edge. I would certainly want holdover on a Wicklash over holdover on the Razor Sharp Edge, because this just objectively is better. It's the same value, but without the caveat of reducing health. Not that reducing the health is like a big deal, but just to be more solid here. I mean, this next fight's not going to be a problem at all. I would maybe consider Cultivate, but no, we got Bristling, so Explosive all the way. And it's going to be thinning. We're going to be spending a lot of money to remove, but we get to remove 2. We get to dupe 1. I mean, we're duping the unit. This is mandatory. This is fine. Yeah. Absolutely acceptable trial. We will get some garbage. This will be a fact that I have accepted. I would hope that all of you have accepted this unfortunate situation, but it is the truth. We will have to accept some garbage. And by some, I mean a lot. Yeah. Well, luckily, all of our main spells that we need to play are free. We will play out this Devour of Death to get it out of our deck. And this will reduce our damage. This actually doesn't reduce it at all because we're quick. Okay, but now we're at the point where, yes, we do have garbage. And yes, it's very annoying. But we're not getting any more garbage. And that's something to be proud of. We will continue to get exactly 2 garbage. Also, I just now realize the stealth is free. There's 0 reason not to play the stealth out. And we just continue here. We don't take fire damage. We can heal you up. Probably need to extend your burnout. Actually, is more important at this point. And we'll have at least 2 or 3 consistent regen triggers or restore rejuvenation triggers. And I think that should satisfy what we need. And we're playing around an assumption that it's very likely that at some point the sentients will get killed. And when that happens, or if that happens, we're completely fine. We're able to reform with this permafrosted primitive mold. Although it's a 50-50, that is something to consider. It is a 50-50. So we should be a little bit wary. But yeah, and then maybe just rush the boss here. Okay. Engraft would probably be the only thing we take. We're definitely not going to take an Awake or a Preserve Thorns. We have specific targets in terms of cards we want to hit. Oh, you know, maybe I should have pivoted into Endless. I should have maybe considered taking Endless there. Yeah. That probably was the right play. We are going to remove... We really have to decide. Like, Devour of Death is either a deadweight that we try to clear, and maybe that's perfectly fine. Cleansing Water seems good. Don't need magic power. The only one I would consider there is Boon of the Blacksmith. Stings being better versus Conscription Notice. Our Stings would do 30 damage. I don't know if we're keeping the Stings. This is another valid question. Are the Stings more valuable than Restores? The value of the Sting is that it's free. But the Restores just do more damage. The regen is not relevant at all. So it's either Conscription Notice or money. I think it's Conscription Notice. We can put something down with our other Husk Hermit. And now it's just remove. And I think we first remove the Stings. We are going to have a natural 7 draw because of the focus growth. And then I think it's removing as many restores as we can afford. And this seems like a pretty decent position to be in. We will have a deadweight in this one unit. We can't play it. We can probably play it. Actually, no, what am I talking about? We have stealth. We have stealth. We're completely fine. Not to mention the fact that we have the Husk Hermit anyway that we had to play. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm stressing over nothing. We're going to be building up... Okay, that's interesting. But, no. Can we just build you up? Pop you. And then engulfed in smoke, and suddenly everything's fine. And I'm fine to play some spells down here. I mean, eventually this floor is going to die. And by eventually, I mean, like, immediately this floor is going to die. Putting a Devour of Death down here seems like a really good option for the future for us. And then it's all about this top. Like, everything revolves around these two units doing all of the heavy lifting. So we stealth. This is very important. I'm not 100% certain how much stealth we're going to actually be able to build up over time. But we are going to be able to get a lot of damage over time as Seraph continues to move up and down. I think there will be occasions when we can do double stealth in a row. It should happen every once in a while. Like here, for example, we play the stealth, and I think it's fairly likely we're going to get it again. I mean, the fact is that Seraph is very likely to one-shot us. Okay, so we did get another stealth in a row. That's very good. It'd be great if we got another one. The more of them we get in a row, the easier it is to deal with Relentless. This is the last time Seraph's going to come up top. The nice thing is, Seraph is going to get hit for a solid, you know, solid chunk of damage. Let's just say 552 damage. Assuming that we can have at least 2 stealth by the time Seraph returns. So we're at 4 now, or 3 now. If we get lucky, we'll get it again next turn. I think it's guaranteed to get it next turn? No, it's not guaranteed. But it's very likely. And if we get it again here, that'll put us at 4. Ultimate luck would be to get it a 3rd time now. But I think we're at the level. We're already doing 600 damage. It's quick. So 600 damage times 4 is 2400. I think we're there. Because we can absorb 1 hit on the Sentient before, and we're already killing. Sentient is not even dying. Yeah, it's because every time we're doing an extra set of damage. And Divinity, I don't think we'll get a flying kill on Divinity, but I think we're okay. We have some insurance with the fact that we have Vapor Funnel. The scaling on the bosses is what scares me. And there's a valid question, which is, do we play bottom floor? I think that's not going to be the case. There's a Wickless Baron. I have to apologize to this Baron. He is going to get sacked for the good of the kingdom. And then we continue on our journey here. And I mean, we're at 120 damage now. Fairly early on. Got a solid 300 damage onto Divinity, which is pretty good. We will play you here. We're going to be able to clear some stuff. It's not going to be a lot of stuff. We do play Focus Growth here. We have the Devourer eventually going to arrive. We can stealth again. And then we just continue here. Try to get as much regen as is possible. We're getting another 300 damage. So we're at the point now where we're doing a decent amount. 540. So 540 is the target. That's what we have to think about. The front unit does not matter. Apart from, we would lose 1 or 2 triggers. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. But life is sometimes annoying. Up to 280. Now more. We're just surpassing 400. Now we're at, or not 400, 300. We're now approaching 400. Okay, with a Wicklash, stealth, pop, pop. One more gets us there. So we kill the first mini boss without any major issues. And what we have to show for it is, well, some extra garbage in our deck. I will not prioritize at all playing this Vengeful Shard. We will take minor bits of pyre damage, and I will accept this as the cost of playing this build. And then we just continue here. Build up the most regen we can, get as many triggers as we can. You have an effective HP level of 740. We are at close to 500. The advantage here is that he's in the front, so we can kind of get a few triggers. And we are going to be building up our damage even more. So we're now past 500. We're now past 550. We don't have any dead weights left to draw. We drew 1. Okay, so we're already almost there. 656 is certainly reaching almost critical mass. We're good. We're killing him. Yeah. And there you go. One more turn. We don't need to play this. Stealth is not mandatory here. We're doing we're doing a clean run. And there you go. Clean run. Sentient, sweeper, scaling. And it's funny because this was a very fast run, but I feel like I took my time in exactly the moments that I needed to take my time. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, think about like a chess game, right? So in a chess game, you have a limited amount of time, and you don't want to take equal time across all your moves. There are some things you want to just kind of play out quickly, and some things you want to decide. And I think there were the moments where strategically slowing down and really thinking about my win conditions, right? So there was the choice around large stone, and that was the whole premise was we needed enough damage through our Husk Hermit to effectively kill the bosses. And then we needed to sustain. And I think slowing down, thinking through how can we protect ourselves, looking at the number of cards we're going to have, looking at the draw we're going to have, like all of this contributes into what I would say was, I mean, obviously we're winning, but like this is the thing I think I need to be better about, and especially in considering tournament settings or just in general when I'm trying to really play in a more serious way. And maybe my also advice, right, for you guys who are watching, learn when are the most important strategic moments and take your time. There's no rush, right? This is a single player game. If you're not in a tournament, there's no one telling you to play faster. And I say that knowing that, like, even despite the fact that we took our time at some moments, right? So we took our time early on here. We made sure I should have. So let me talk about my mistakes. What were my mistakes? Really, there's just one major mistake. The one major mistake was I should have just taken something from this Divine Temple. Like, that's objectively better than duping the unit here. Without a doubt. We take something from this temple, we can go left path, reduce the cost of things. We don't need a Hell Vent. I mean, the Hell Vent we did was not valuable at all in terms of like the build strength. We could have paid to remove cards. In fact, we did pay to remove cards. Maybe we don't remove so many restores, but instead we make them free. Like, the ideal would have been something like take a purge here, maybe a plus something damage. We only needed 10, so a purge would have been enough. We take a purge here, take these two, go left. The purge represents one unstable vortex, half of the unstable vortex. We have one more card, but we're able to improve the quality of the cards that we have, right? That's just objectively better. And actually with Forgotten Boons, we end up having enough money to remove another card. So that's what we should have done. That would have been the ideal play. So anyway, things to learn, things to consider, but let's finish the run. I've kept you in suspense long enough. And with that, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you enjoy this more contemplative, strategic thinking, tell me your feelings in the comments. If you have not yet subscribed and are regularly watching this content and find it to be valuable, entertaining, interesting, or a decent background noise, why not subscribe? It takes you 5 seconds. It makes a difference for me. And with that, this has been Nate. You can also call me Nathan. Please never call me Nathaniel. We were able to finally clear out Melting Remnant. We just have 2 standard cards and some Divine Master cards left. We're almost there. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.